Prime Minister Mark Carney and the power brokers in Eastern Canada must listen to the West. Otherwise, it's going to cost Canada. So I teamed up with my colleague, Prairie Director for the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, Gage Hobrick, and we wrote this article for the Toronto Sun newspaper chain. Go online and check it out because we're making this point that Carney can't just play word games here. He can't sit down with the premiers and say, we're going to build big things. No, no. He has to do some very serious things in order to help the West. Because right now, lots of people in Western Canada are fed right up. So what Carney needs to do is a few things. Scrap Bill C-69, also called the No More Pipelines Law. It should be called the Don't Build Anything Law because it affects things even like bridge building and developing mines. It's not just about oil and gas pipelines, but he needs to scrap that law right now. He also needs to get rid on the cap on Alberta's energy sector. His government calls it an emissions cap, but it's effectively a production cap. The parliamentary budget officer points out that that is going to cost Canada around $20 billion over the next few years and slash around 40,000 Canadian jobs. Again, that is a cap on energy imposed by Ottawa. He needs to scrap those two things right now. There's other elements in our article as well where we point out how much it's going to cost to force people to buy battery-powered vehicles, how much it's going to cost Canadian taxpayers to mandate that you're no longer allowed to purchase a new gasoline or diesel-powered vehicle in Canada. Answer, hundreds of billions of dollars. In fact, Canada has lost out on about $670 billion through stalled or strangled natural resource projects since 2015. So since this government came to power in Ottawa, Canada has lost out on $670 billion in lost natural resources projects. That's a staggering amount of money. I'll give you an idea of how much money that is, okay? So if you take the fact that they've choked off natural resources, what I just said, combine that with the cost of the energy cap, that is the entire federal income tax bill for every person in Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba combined for 10 years. I'm going to say that again real slow. Ottawa's energy cap and its strangulation of natural resources in Canada, the cost of that is equivalent to the federal income taxes paid by every man, woman, and child from Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba combined for 10 years. Yeah, this is what the West is upset about here, folks. So it's very good that Prime Minister Mark Carney is sitting down and chatting with Premiers Danielle Smith and Scott Moe, but he needs to actually walk the talk here. If he does two things right away, it's going to help immensely. Scrap Bill C-69 and scrap the cap on the West's energy.